What's up everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hey, I have a new video segment I'm going to put out. It's called Real Life Tales of a Mortgage Broker. I'll explain, but first, watch this intro. How'd you like that intro? Alright, this segment is called Real Life Tales of a Mortgage Broker. So what I'm going to do is when I come across something that's unusual, that's not your plain vanilla loan, then and I think it's valuable for people to learn about, I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll make a couple about mistakes I made or problems I come across, but mostly it will be problems that I solve. And maybe you didn't know that solution was available. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to cut to it. I just closed a cash out refinance, owner occupied property, and the borrower had a 508 FICO. Highlighter drop. We'll go into more detail on the loan, but what I want to first do is clear up some misconceptions. So there's misconceptions out there about what you need to have to qualify. There's three things lenders will look at: your credit, your income, and your assets. The misconception is that you have to have great credit, that you have to have 20% to put down, you have to have a lot of assets, and that you have to have a ton of income. And actually, unlike baseball, which is a 3 strikes game, I always say this, you might have heard this before, but lending is a 2 strikes and you're out game.
And CB Butnor just punched out Seth Smith, and the count is 2-2.
So what that means is that if you don't have one of those three, there's probably a solution for you. If you don't have two, then you're going to need to go home and do some work before you come back and you're able to get that loan. So let me go into more detail. This borrower didn't have good credit. They had terrible credit, but they had a good job and they had equity in their house. That's like assets. They had only 1 strike and we had a solution. Was their interest rate higher? Yes, of course it was. At that FICO score, you cannot get a FHA loan. You cannot get a VA loan. You cannot get a conventional loan. You cannot get mortgage insurance. So your options are limited, but there's lenders available who fill that niche, fill that need. Okay, now if you don't have assets to put down, there's a lot of low down payment programs. You can also get gifts. Income is the toughest problem to solve, but there are some solutions. If you're a self-employed borrower who writes everything off, the same lender I use for this loan has a program where they look at your bank statements to help you qualify. Other issues you can have is if you have a lot of assets, but not a lot of income, you can use asset depletion to qualify. You can get a co-signer. You can get a non-occupying co-borrower, and if you are buying an investment property, you can use rental income to help you qualify. So if you're light on income, there are some solutions. That's the toughest issue to get around, but again, it's a 2 strikes game. If you're lacking one but have the other 2 in abundance, there's going to be a solution for you. It's 2 strikes and you're out. 1 strike, you're still in the game. Okay, now this loan, I'll call it a non-prime loan. So there's prime, which is when you have great credit, income, assets, and then there's non-prime, when you're lacking one of those things. So there's the word subprime, and it has this nasty connotation to it. I really don't think that's fair a lot of times. Although the credit was low, they had to qualify. It follows Dodd-Frank rules where you have to prove your ability to repay. So the problem we had, the mortgage meltdown, was that people were getting loans that they did not have the ability to repay back. So with this borrower, they had the ability to repay. This was a non-prime loan, but people are out there who just get a bad break. You might have some accident happen and you have a bunch of medical bills and then you get behind, and once you get behind, it's hard to catch up sometimes. So a program like this, where what I did is they cashed out money, they paid off all their student loans, credit cards, auto loans. So all those bills are gone. And then they took money out in addition to that. They wanted to do a couple of things to the house, so there's some money for that. They also have this pile of money on the side. It's their emergency fund. So should something come up again, that money's there to pay their bills so they stay on time. And they know now you can't just not pay a bill. You can't have 60 days late, because once you get behind, it's so hard to catch up.
I'm not gonna pay for that wall. He should pay for it. He's got the money.
But what we're gonna do, we've cleared the deck for them. Everything's paid off. Their monthly payments, even with the bigger mortgage, with the higher rate, is lower than it was before. They have money set aside. They're gonna work on their credit to get it up in about a year plus. They're gonna refinance into a conventional loan with a good rate. They're gonna be prime borrowers again. So you go from non-prime to prime. I feel great about putting this together for them. If you're in California and you have this situation, give me a call. I could help you out. If you're not in California, get with your local lender in town. There's a lot of people who can do this loan, but there's even more who can't. So if you go to the big banks, they won't touch this stuff. So in closing, I closed a loan for a borrower, had a 500 FICO score. I wanted to pat myself on the back. I wanted to get the word out that that's possible. I wanted to introduce this new segment, Real Tales from a Mortgage Broker. I'll put more videos out in this series when I come across something that's cool, unique, that you might not know about. Realtors, you have to subscribe. I have a video coming soon. It's gonna add a tool to your toolkit. It'll provide you a new response when you have a listing that's not selling and it's a alternative to price cut. Let's work together to save you some deals. Coming soon, SBD. The SBD. Now, if you're laughing right now, it's not that kind of, you're immature and it's not that kind of SBD. It's just, I'm gonna tease it, SBD, video to come. If you subscribe, you'll be the first to see it. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to get to 100. That'd be great to get to 100. So if you subscribe and then maybe go to your friends and hit subscribe when they're not looking on their phone. So thank you so much and have a great day.